Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. I'm here with my friend Joe today. It's going to be a little bit of a different type of an interview because normally I do interviews over Skype and I'm talking about boots for the most part, or leather. That's what most of my channel's about. But I myself am a Youngstown boy. I grew up in Youngstown, Ohio with tons and tons of Italians around me at all times. I'm not Italian myself, but I grew up in an Italian town, an old mafia town. And so the Italian culture has always been near and dear to my heart. And my friend Joe here actually grew up here in Baltimore's Little Italy. So we're going to be talking about Little Italy today. Joe is a wealth of knowledge on the subject. He's literally seen it all, seen Little Italy and all of its evolution throughout the years. So Joe, Thank you so much for coming to my channel today and taking time to sit down and interview me finally, because I know this has been in the works for a while. Yeah. So why don't we start with, so you were born here,
right? Here, right over here on Albemarle Street. Well, I was born in Mercy Hospital.
Okay, Mercy Hospital.
My mother and father lived on Albemarle right over here.
Okay, gotcha.
And in those days, like after the war, sort of, I guess, you know, it was the younger people who were having children, wasn't enough room in the neighborhood. Most of us, it was a bunch of families that lived in the projects up here.
Okay.
Perkins homes.
Yeah.
So, and then when homes became available in the neighborhood, people would either move back to the neighborhood or they moved out. Okay. Like say out to Bel Air Road area.
Gotcha.
You know,
okay.
Which in those days was like the country.
Yeah, that was like the rural areas, right? Right. So I have some literature. I did some reading on Little Italy. There are a couple books. But apparently before the neighborhood was Italian, it was Jewish, right?
From what I understand.
Okay.
We had a couple synagogues in here in the neighborhood itself. Okay. Even when I was growing up. One up here where DeMimo's parking lot is now, that was a synagogue.
Okay.
And there was another one over near Pratt Street.
Okay, I see. Now, we are in Benny's restaurant right now, which both my friends Benny got together and made this restaurant happen. Before this, it was a place called, what was it? It was Germano's Piatini.
Germano's.
Yes, yes. But while we were walking up here, you remember this restaurant there and made this restaurant happen. Before this, it was a place called, what was it? It was Germano's Piatini.
Germano's.
Yes, yes. But while we were walking up here, you remember this restaurant actually had many iterations, right?
The original, when I was a kid growing up, it was Pisa's.
Pisa's, okay. Yeah.
Pisa's restaurant.
Is that P-I-S-A?
P-I-Z-Z-A, just like a pizza.
Oh, okay, yeah. Gotcha. And then what did it become after that?
Then after that, I think Sedano's had an involvement again with it was called the Capri.
Okay.
That lasted a few years.
Gotcha.
Then it became the Casa Bianca that I remembered. That was about the last place until, then Germano's took it over, and then Benny.
Okay.
And now it's Benny.
Yes, now it's Benny's. You know, there was one passage in this book that you go kind of far back with the Sudanos, right?
Oh yeah.
So my buddy Benny Sudano bought this property when it went up for sale. He also bought Aldo's. Yeah. Yes, he hasn't opened it yet, but there was a passage in this book. This is Baltimore's Little Italy. It's a very good reference point for the history on the neighborhood. But I came across this passage. You might find this interesting. So, Sudano's Produce, the Charlie Sudano. Did you know him? Okay.
Yeah, Charlie was my best friend. We grew up together.
That's right. Okay, wow. Yeah. So Charlie Sudano, I believe that's Benny's grandfather, right?
No.
Or his uncle?
Benny's uncle.
Okay, that's right, his uncle.
Benny's grandfather would have been Benny. He was named Benny too. And
Okay,
his father was Benny.
I see. Okay. So Charlie Sudano said, my father was like a mayor down here. He says, inside 302 South High Street, a midwife had delivered 10 Sudano children,
Right.
5 boys and 5 girls, offspring of Sebastiano Benny Sudano, and the bride he married in 1922, Chicamina Regina
Giacomina, yeah.
Chacamina.
Giacomina.
Okay. Impalaria. Benny, also nicknamed Graveyard, was an immigrant from Catania, Sicily. Why did they name him Graveyard?
I really don't know that one.
Do you have any hunches?
The only hunch I know, Charlie always used to say, it's his dad, when he would, like, after dinner, go down to the corner on Eastern and High.
Mm-hmm.
It was like it was a breakfast and luncheon restaurant. And then at night, the men played cards in there. It was a soda fountain and ice cream and stuff.
Okay.
And he always said when his father went down to be with the guys at night, well, at the end of this corner here at High and Trinity was the funeral home.
Okay.
And Charlie said his dad would always go on the other side of the street. He'd never walk him. And that's the only thing I could think of, graveyard.
That's
He
interesting.
didn't want to go walk past the funeral home.
maybe a little superstitious
Yeah.
type of a guy. Yeah, I understand. Let's see. Only 3 of the 10 children are still living. The baby Charlie Banana Sudano, who was your best friend, 70, who was 72 at the time. 2 of his sisters, Josie and Mary. Charlie and Mary reside together in Little Italy.
Right.
Okay, so I didn't know that.
So Charlie just passed away 2 years ago.
Right.
And Mary maybe 2 years before he did.
Wow.
But he was the baby, and he was the last one
Okay.
to pass.
I gotcha. And yeah, at Benny's house, he has a portrait-sized printout of Charlie,
Yeah.
and it's overlooking like the pool and the grill area, and kind of because he loved his uncle, probably more than anybody. So that is so cool that you were his best friend. Yeah, we'll definitely have to delve more into those stories. It says the Sudanos initially operated a pool room in front of that house. In 1932, the last year of Prohibition, Benny and his brothers established Sudano Produce to offer fruit and produce to restaurants and small grocers in the area. Since they knew fruit and they knew vino, they added wine grapes to their inventory to sell to those who produced homemade wine. Benny arranged for truckloads of grapes to be shipped from California, grapes that would appeal to the Italians' palate, such as Zinfandel, Muscat, and Carignane. Let's see. That segment of the businesses grew as sound as the produce side. By 1960, the company was ordering 216 tons of grapes, which then arrived by train. Sons Benjamin and Joseph worked alongside their father before taking over the business in the 1950s. And since 1985, their sons Benny and Brian Sudano have operated this third-generation company as S&S Wine Grapes, an equipment company based in Jessup and still catering to the home winemaker. So they're still in.
Right.
They still carry that business forward, right? That's interesting because Benny is still very much involved in the produce business, and it says it was our family business, said Ben, in a 2002 Baltimore Sun story. But it was also a way of life. Like their customers, the Sudano cousins chose their preferred grapes, like their fathers and grandfathers, and they make homemade wine. So this is news to me, but the Sudanos like to drink.
Really. I mean, Charlie, we would, he would have a few drinks, but overall, a lot of them, I don't remember, they were older than me and Charlie, but I don't think they drank too much. They liked wine, I'm sure,
Yeah, absolutely.
But in 32, they started, it said, the produce company.
Yeah.
Well, Charlie and I weren't born until 42, but
okay.
I can remember going on the little open paneled truck to deliver or to sell produce, like up into Highland Town and all the way back down through little different streets and alleys.
Okay.
Go out early in the morning, come back with an empty truck.
Yeah.
Just, hopefully they sold everything, you know.
Right.
And then I don't know if it mentioned there they had the banana business.
Oh no, it didn't. It didn't
Yeah,
say
down on Light Street. In the old days, bananas came in on a ship.
Okay.
Then modern times, I think they were like boxed in the trot wherever they grew them and shipped them in the boxes. But
okay,
I went with Charlie on many deliveries over to the Grand Union warehouse, the food market warehouse near DC.
Wow, that's so cool. Yeah. So, talk to me a little bit more about the neighborhood and your childhood here. Did you guys? This might be stereotypical, but did you guys play a lot of bocce or?
No, we didn't play any bocce.
Okay.
We played mostly just football, baseball, basketball.
Okay.
And that's about it, you know. And we all, of course, most of us went to St. Leo's grade school, which ended up closing, I think, in the 70s, early or mid 70s.
Okay.
And that's why, you know, eventually there wasn't a school. A lot of the people like myself, when I got married, we lived out of the neighborhood in an apartment and up on like off of Frankfurt Avenue in the Sinclair Lane area. Then we built a home, and mostly in the old days, you know, it seemed like some of the children would stay in the homes with their parents and raise their families.
Interesting.
Happened a lot, yeah.
Okay, I gotcha. That's really interesting. So, what part of the street did you live in?
I lived on Eastern Avenue.
Eastern Avenue. Okay.
Yeah, right between Central and Exeter.
Okay, gotcha.
And right now, I think the house I lived in is the only one on that block. No, there's another one. My cousins on the corner. 1020 and 1016 are still the only two houses. Everything else is commercial business.
I see. Yeah, things are changing a lot.
They've changed a lot over the years.
Yeah.
It's good that Chips is still like family owned.
Right.
And even Sabatino's.
True. Yeah, Chipperelli's, Sabatino's, those have been neighborhood staples. I mean, they've been around. How long would you say?
Well, as a kid, I remember them, and I was born in 42. But of course, not being aware of the neighborhood itself, being able to go around on my own until I was maybe 10, 11.
Yeah. Yes. So what was that like? You just running around the neighborhood as a young man, just painting the town red?
Yeah. Oh, we had one playground down at number 2 school that was big enough to play. They had a basketball court. We played softball on the asphalt jungle, you know.
Yeah. Yes.
And most of the sports we played was down at it was the Baltimore pumping station, you know. We played was down at it was the Baltimore pumping station, you know.
Yeah.
And they had this area where I think even my dad, when he was growing up, they used to play baseball there.
Oh, really?
And it eventually, in around 57 or 8, they started St. Leo's Little League.
Okay.
When I grew up, we never had a Little League. We just played pickup games.
Yeah.
and then that field where we used to play, they turned it into like a little tiny stadium, and they named it the Alessandro Field after the mayor, Tommy Alessandro.
Interesting. Okay, speaking of St. Leo's, there's a passage in this book about St. Leo the Great Church, the anchor of the neighborhood. Did you grew up going to that church? Or
Oh yeah, I was
okay.
altar boy there.
Wow.
Baptized there, made my first Holy Communion there, my confirmation, everything.
Wow.
The only thing later, I didn't get married there because you always got married at your wife, the parish, the
Okay.
woman's parish usually.
Interesting. Okay, so where did you guys get
Jane
married
and
at?
I got married at St. Catherine's
Okay.
of Siena up in East Baltimore. See, a lot of people still say East Baltimore here. This is really southeast.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. That yes, absolutely. Wow, that's so cool. Yeah, it says along with their skimpy possessions, a few lira and scruffy travel cases, the Italians brought to America their sturdy Catholic faith.
Right.
So that's what you grew up in. That is really awesome. Um, yeah, once settled in Baltimore, they needed and wanted to put into action an even deeper devotion to God. They asked the Almighty Father to help them with homesickness, find employment, and adjust to a new way of life in a strange territory. And I find that part about the homesickness to be particularly compelling because these people they were what where in your family line did you guys immigrate over from Italy?
Well,
Was it your dad or grandfather?
it was my grandparents.
Okay,
Naples, I think, was my mother's side,
okay,
and my grandfather, or my father's father, was a town up in northern, off the Adriatic, across from Rome on the other coast.
okay.
Uh, Terama, I think it was called.
Interesting. Okay.
And that was like this was the Abruzzi section, Abruzzi. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So it was your grandfather that came over here. Do you remember any stories that he talked about when he
Oh
first
yeah, when he lived in Italy, how he said he always told the one was funny about the goat he had.
the goat?
He would take it in town and sell it, and he had the goat trained to run away and come back to him. I don't know how true that was, but he said he sold that goat quite a few times. Yeah, my grandfather was a character.
That is
It's
amazing.
funny. He migrated here. I think he was around 19, and it was amazing. He had no education,
Wow.
learned how to speak English on his own,
Yeah.
could read the American newspaper, could do almost anything um, mechanically, like a carpentry. He could lay brick. He could do everything. I couldn't believe it. In fact, he had his own little business beside working in the shipyards in Philly. He
Oh.
had his own painting business. He would paint houses. He lived.
Wow.
They moved to. That's a story in itself. My father had a brother,
Uh-huh.
Joe, who actually lived till 100.
Wow.
How he's been dead maybe 2 years or a little
Really?
more maybe, but he lived to 100. My grandfather lived to 90.
Okay.
But yeah, he had, and they grew up when my father's mother died. She was a Pisa.
Really?
Yeah, they were related to the people that owned. They were like cousins. Yeah.
That own this place.
Yeah,
Okay.
and she died when my father was 12, and my Uncle Joe was like 8.
Wow.
So my grandfather, I don't know all the circumstances. He picked up and he couldn't find work, so he went up to Chester, Pennsylvania, which is a little below Philly.
Okay.
And then he remarried, had 2 daughters, and worked at the shipyards. And my father and he and his brother, they were all always close. And my father stayed here and lived here with his aunt.
Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
he was attached to his aunt Eva Pisa,
Okay.
and he stayed here with her and grew up. But
Yeah.
we would always, when we were old enough, he got married and had me and my sister take the train because my dad worked for the Pennsylvania Railroad, the freight yard right down here.
That's right.
on Fleet Street. It ran from like um, I'm trying to think of that not front, President Street, all the
Okay.
way up to where Central Avenue, and then the train went all the way out to the big yard out in Canton and all that area.
Okay. Yes, we love going to Canton. There's actually some good Italian restaurants up there
Yeah.
still. There's a good pizza joint. I forget what it's called, but they have this pizza called the Vesuvio,
Mm-hmm.
which is Vesuvius, I guess Mount Vesuvius. It's got 4 different types of toppings on it. It's pretty good. It's cut into 4 quadrants, I think. Can't remember exactly.
But they did on the St. Gabriel and St. Anthony Festival. They used to carry the statue like of St. Gabriel,
Oh, really?
and they would put money on it. They had these ribbons, and during when they had the the festival, St. Gabriel or St. Anthony,
Okay.
which I was thinking about the other day. This past year, 1923,
Uh-huh.
no, 24. I don't think they had either one at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And they would have it on a weekend, like a Saturday and a Sunday.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, both St. Anthony and St. Gabriel feasts were for a week long,
Wow.
and they would block off certain streets, but it was at nighttime.
Interesting.
And they'd have little kiddie rides and pony rides.
Okay.
And then later it just became like a festival.
Yeah.
They sold food. They had all the different food stands and things like that.
Okay. And so did that kind of spark the tradition of the Italian what is it? The festival that they have on the street every year. I forget what it's called. Yeah, I think
Yeah, one was for it celebrated St. Anthony,
okay.
and the other was St. Gabriel Festival.
Okay.
Yeah, they, like I say, this past year, as far as I know, they didn't do either.
Yeah.
Whether they did them indoors, I don't know, because we didn't come down.
I see.
But anyway, getting back to like businesses,
Yeah.
it was amazing to me when I thought of it later in life. All the little businesses, like we had 4 bakers, they baked Italian bread, rolls. They all made money.
Yeah.
You had a grocery store on every block. In fact, on this block, you had 1, 2, 3, 4. And my Aunt Eva, she had one on Trinity Street, right off of the high here.
Okay.
And there were so many of them, and they all made money, I guess,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, they had other jobs, but
Yeah.
I remember my uncle, my Aunt Eva's husband, he worked at American Can Company up in Canton. And he would work his day job and then come home and help in the store.
Cool.
Things like that.
Awesome. So, and Little Italy's also sort of famous for having those the movie nights down on the corner.
Yeah, that was later. Like when I was growing up, we never had it.
Okay.
If we had a movie show, they showed it in the school hall.
Oh, okay.
And it was mostly for the kids, in school.
Yeah, yeah.
The Jackie Robinson story, the Babe Ruth story, things like that.
Right.
But it was neat growing up here.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I love this. I love this neighborhood. We try to come every week. We've been coming for the last 12 years, I'd say. Absolutely love it.
And of course, the neighborhood had its share and more than its share of characters.
Oh, I'm sure. Now that is clearly not true.
Yeah.
That is absolutely a lie. No way that's true. Not with a bunch of Italians around. I don't believe it. So one thing that's always been interesting to me is how Little Italy's been able to preserve its Italian heritage. The Italians came in here and it just sort of became and remained an Italian stronghold, I would say. What would you sort of attribute that to. I guess there's that kinship of, you know, having the same culture, maybe the same shared language.
And it, I mean, it lasted a long time. I mean, here lately, it's a lot of people who live in the neighborhood were never connected with anyone here, you know.
Yeah.
People die, people move away, you know.
Right.
And I guess it just comes to a point.
Yeah, that's true. So there was in this Little Italy, Baltimore's Little Italy, where it all started, this quote stuck out to me by Willie Matriciani. He says,
Matriciani, yeah.
Yeah, do you know him?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Wow.
Oh, yeah.
That's so cool. Yeah, you'll have to tell us
that
about
was his family. That was a big family. Two of the brothers, I remember Al and what the heck was the guy? They were contract business, you know.
Okay.
Contractors.
He said, although we represent different generations, our love for Little Italy transcends that. It was a special place to grow up, unlike any other place in Baltimore, maybe the world. It's the people of the neighborhood who I think should get the credit for building such a place we still call home. Yeah, that's that to me sort of.
That was very well said. I remember reading that book and that quote by Willie. Yeah.
Yes.
He was in the Willie was in the. I think he was. He did like fences.
So he's still around then.
Yeah, Willie's still around.
And so you grew up. So we have the harbor here. Did you guys hang out at the harbor a lot as kids? Did you guys? Was that like your?
Not really. The closest we was at the ball field, which was right next to, and right next to our ball field was Baltimore City Morgue.
Oh.
Have you ever heard the story of the morgue?
No.
Yeah. We used to play baseball, and all of a sudden we see the wagon come in, and it meant they were bringing somebody in who had passed.
No, that's kind of morbid.
And mostly like a drowning or some kind of. There was a baseball player who was with the Orioles. He was a catcher named Tom Gastall. Okay. And we were down the field. We used to go down there. There was enough light to play at night.
Really?
And he aviated a plane.
Okay.
He had a pilot's license, and he crashed out. The plane was kept at that Middle River. It's a National Guard airstrip now, out of
okay,
all the way out Eastern Avenue and Middle River.
Okay.
And that's where he kept his plane, and he crashed on Eastern Avenue one night. And when they brought his body down here, autopsy, we were all playing football that night.
Really? Oh, what a time to be alive! That's unreal.
Yeah. Now and then the morgue. Can't remember what year it was. They moved uptown near University of Maryland Hospital. In fact, they might have been right in the University of Maryland Hospital on the bottom level.
Okay. Gotcha.
From what I can remember.
So you were actually able to play ball in the stadium?
No, it was a little field down here.
Oh, it was a field down. Okay.
It's gone now because the road's coming through and all the building of what do they call this over here now? East.
Oh, Harbor East. Yeah. Yeah. Some might say that took a turn for the better. Some might say for the worse. Just keeps it.
Some
evolving.
Of our playgrounds were the lumber yards.
Oh, really?
We used to, Charlie and I, a lot of the guys, mostly the boys, none of the girls played in the lumber yards. We would jump lumber piles, which was dangerous.
No.
Yeah.
Not when you're young and invincible.
Jump and land on a pile, and it would go like this, shake.
It's only a problem if you get, buried beneath them.
But I say we had to make up a lot of our own play areas,
Right. Similar to me, growing up in the 90s, my best friend, who's an Italian, lived in a development, and they were building houses there, and we'd go and we'd play in like the developing houses and stuff.
Yeah.
Probably getting into too much more trouble than we should have been getting in at the time. It's far different than nowadays. Obviously, nowadays we don't let our kids out of our driveway without being there the whole time.
Basketball teams we played. We had our own basketball. We played like in the grammar school leagues, parochial school league, and the public leagues.
Okay. Oh, and sure enough, here's a picture of the St. Gabriel procession right there.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, there's you. And actually, I have your childhood pictures. Well, I guess pictures from a lot of your life.
My wife must have given you these.
Yeah, she did. So this is probably you, right?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay.
And this is the baby girl in the stroller is Joanne Bruni.
Okay.
And this is her cousin Mary Rose Bruni.
Okay, the one on the right.
Yeah. It's me and my sister in Wildwood. With this picture, I remember in Wildwood.
Oh, Wildwood, New Jersey.
I think this is my wife to Miami Beach. It's when I graduated from St. Leo's.
Wow. And then here, this looks like it might be in...
That's at our old house down on Eastern Avenue.
Okay.
In front of it.
Very good.
And the Scalas would be right there now.
Wow.
And that's me and my son, Marco.
Okay. Awesome. Dang, a lot of good memories. Wow,
Yeah.
This old picture really...
Yeah, this is on Eastern and President. Eastern Avenue would be coming this way.
Okay.
This was, I think, metal. They made all kind of like pipe, aluminum and copper and stuff like that.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, I see it's something steel building.
Yeah.
Yeah, something that... What it looks like something Weatherall, Netherall.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact name.
Okay. And yeah,
there's a lot of businesses here. Bagby Furniture.
Right.
Like I said, there was three or four lumber yards.
Okay.
I remember the one Horsemeyer, which was on President again. I can remember as a kid, they used to pull lumber with Clydesdales horses.
Okay.
And they would stable them right there.
Really?
And we'd go over to look at the horses, and you'd see all the mice running around in the stable, you know.
Yeah.
We would get a kick out of that.
Right. I'm sure. And that is one of the coolest things, walking around Little Italy, are all the old horse stable, those sort of concave stops where people would stow their horses, because Little Italy's been around.
Well, when we lived in the projects, there was the firehouse right there.
Okay.
Right on Caroline Street. And in the summer, mostly when the hucksters would get finished, you know, selling all their produce, the stable was down on like South Caroline.
Okay.
And they'd bring the horses back for that night, and the firemen had this big trough with water running all the time for the horses.
Really?
And I remember we used to sit there and wait for the horse to come by to drink water. That was a thrill, watching the horses drink water.
Oh yeah, that's not something we get to see nowadays, that's for sure. The Italian wave started its journey in the 1800s in the poorest villages across Italy. In the 1800s, this is when the Italians start coming into Little Italy. Before that, it was known as Jonestown.
Was it because of the Jones Falls?
Yes. Okay. Yes, I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, it runs down like 83.
Yes.
Down to the city.
Okay.
Along 83 Falls Road.
Right.
Jones Falls, yeah.
Yes, Jones Falls. Yes. So it slowly evolved into Little Italy. Oh, here it is. The neighborhood was not always Italian, and it wasn't always called Little Italy. Previously, part of Jonestown. It was laid out in 1732 and named after an Englishman, David Jones, who built a house on the waterbank of the Jones Falls, also named after him. Yes,
Okay.
so you're
I
exactly right.
remember that.
Yeah, yeah, that was a little bit before your time. It said, yeah, German, Jewish, and Irish immigrants settled into this area. It was called Mechanics Row, characterized by German artisans who arrived by ship and settled into Baltimore. The area was a melting pot of nationalities, included Lithuanians, Russians, Polish, English, and some Chinese. Those ethnic groups eventually moved on to other parts of the city as Italians bought or rented most of their properties. In time, the community transformed into a nearly all Italian neighborhood and was dubbed Little Italy. So that's sort of the birth of Little Italy. And here they mentioned the Vaccarino family. Did you know that?
Vaccarino, yeah.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, he owned it was called the Son of Italy or Solo d'Italia. They sold canned goods,
Okay.
and that was where in fact, he took over. It was the synagogue up here on the corner.
Okay.
Of High and Styles.
Yeah.
That was his warehouse, and where he hauled out all his product to the a lot of little stores in Little Italy. He sold canned goods. He sold like Italian cheese that was in a jar.
Okay.
I'll never forget those little jars. My aunt used to sell them in her store.
Yeah.
It was like a drinking glass, a small drinking glass. It's filled with grated Parmesan or whatever. And when you took the lid off and used all the cheese, then it became a drinking glass.
Oh,
and they used to have different characters or things on it. Like I remember one with the little rocket ships on it.
Yeah.
I wonder if any of them are around. That's like really antique stuff, collector's items.
Oh, I'm sure they're probably floating around some antique shops around here. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
That would definitely be a collector's item for sure. Yeah, when I read Vaccarino family, what immediately came to mind was Vaccaros, which is
no, I don't know nothing to do with them.
Okay.
He came over later. I remember when he opened the original store, which was across. Right now, it's a beauty salon, I think.
Okay.
And it was real small. Then as he grew and grew, and his son Nicky came in to take over the business, and they expanded.
Okay.
Then he moved across the street with that newer and bigger building.
Gotcha. But I do know that there was a lot of card playing culture here, right? A lot of guys probably getting together in a place like this.
Yeah, well, up the block here at Exeter and Fawn, Mugavero's was a confectionery store.
Okay.
And at night they'd play, guys at pinochle mostly.
Okay.
And they'd gamble, a few bucks or pinochle. I never understood, never got into it. But yeah. I worked there at the store for Mr. Mugavero. His name was Marion Mugavero. He was a tough guy too.
Okay.
And he would cut the games. They'd play for so many hours. Every half hour you get a quarter from each player. And that's how he made some money letting them use his table and whatever. And that probably happened in other stores around, And here at one time, when this was the Casa Bianca, this was almost like a gambling mecca.
Yes, I'm sure. I have no doubt.
Especially up here.
Yeah. The top floor, right? out of public view. Yeah, I mean, and back then a quarter was worth basically probably $20 today.
Yeah, I'm going back to right around 1958.
Okay.
When I worked at the store.
Yeah.
59.
Okay. Yeah, I remember my grandpa telling me he worked on a farm as a boy and he'd get $1 a day. And he said, but movie tickets were 10 cents.
Yeah.
And, a soda was 25 cents. It's like, thanks a lot. What's that called? Federal Reserve.
Yeah. I don't know if there's any pictures of like this when it was Pisa's here.
I'm not sure. This is a Jewish poultry.
Chicken. Oh, that's yeah, that's they were the Sedanos had a produce and fruit stand up on Lumber Street,
Okay,
and that was right across from them. Spivaks. They
really?
sold live. They slaughtered them for you and cleaned them.
Wow,
Ducks, chickens, whatever.
that's so cool. Dang.
I'm pretty sure that's beats the Spivaks. They were
Yeah.
Jewish. Yeah.
Okay.
They were real close though with the Sedanos because, like I said, they were right across the street
Okay.
from each other's business.
Gotcha. Yeah, and here we have the first Little Italy League in 1957.
Yeah,
Cubs, Yankees, Cardinals.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, my dad coached the Cardinals.
Oh, really?
And they like won the championship 3 years in the first 3 years.
Wow, that's so cool.
Had some good baseball players come out of this neighborhood.
Oh, absolutely.
Including my father.
Oh, was he good?
He got signed by the Boston Red Sox.
Really?
Played at Pocomoke City, was their that league, the Eastern Shore League, it was called.
Okay.
And they were affiliated with the Red Sox.
Wow, really? So he was major league?
Well, he never made it to the majors.
Okay.
It was a minor league club.
Okay, gotcha. Wow.
And they didn't get drafted in those days. They just
Yeah.
scouts would see them playing Sandlot. Would you like to sign a contract?
Right. Absolutely. And one thing that's always near and dear to my heart, and this is growing up in Youngstown too, we always have ravioli dinners at churches and things. Did you guys have a lot of events like that?
Oh, yeah. And the kids in school worked.
Yeah.
We waited the tables. We were in the kitchen washing dishes when they came back from, other people finishing their meal.
Wow.
And I was just talking to Gene about not only that, they used to have ham and oyster dinners.
Oh, really?
Fried oysters with baked ham. I remember they'd serve coleslaw with it, potato salad.
Yeah.
To make money, besides the spaghetti and ravioli dinners.
Yeah.
And I can even remember, and it was so weird, like the adults, St. Leo's, they would have a bull roast.
Okay.
Which they still go on today, I think, oysters, beef sandwiches. And they'd always have them on a Sunday. And sure enough, we go to school that Monday.
Yeah.
And all we would smell was beer and cigarette smoke. I can remember that like if it was yesterday. That smell.
Right. I believe that. Here's a photo. Baltimore's Italian community often brought picnic food to the Italian POWs at Camp Meade, Maryland. Italian POWs at Camp Meade. Yeah, what were Italian POWs doing at Camp Meade?
I wonder if that was Fort Meade.
Maybe. Yeah. That's
at the time they just called it Camp Meade.
Yeah, probably.
We had our own drum. In the beginning, it was fife, bugle, and drum corps.
Okay.
And then they took the bugles away. I can't remember what year it was, but I always was in the band. I played drums.
Okay.
And then I was in the altar. I was an altar boy. So at the in summertime, the nuns, as a treat, the nuns and the priests would treat us to a trip to Tolchester Beach.
Oh, really?
Which was on the upper eastern shore.
Okay.
And there was a boat that left from the inner harbor called the Tolchester. And I forget how many people, but it held quite a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it would go across the bay from the inner harbor.
Uh-huh.
And you'd pull up to this big long pier. You get off and go up these steps. And it was an amusement park. Okay. Unbelievable. Outdoor, and
yeah.
it was one of the big memories as a kid growing up doing that.
Yeah,
And
I'm
Gwyn
sure.
Oak.
Okay.
Are you familiar with that area?
Gwen
Gwyn
Oak?
Oak.
No,
It's
no.
like over near Mundalman,
Okay.
over in that area, West Baltimore.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
And
okay.
it was called Gwyn Oak Amusement Park.
Okay.
And that was another one they used to take us to.
Interesting.
Yeah, they had rides and all kinds of things. And
Yeah. And it's no longer.
oh no, they've been going for years.
Okay. We have one similar where I grew up, and you could go there still, and it's just it's creepy. It's an old amusement park, and everything's falling apart. And
Yeah.
the old wood roller coasters and things. It's in complete disrepair. Well, I don't like to get political on my channel, but talk to me about the Pelosi's.
The Pelosi's weren't here.
Oh, they weren't?
She was at the Alessandro, and she married a fellow. I think he was from California.
Okay.
And that's why there were no Pelosi's here. She became a Pelosi.
Gotcha. Okay. Because according to Benny, all the Pelosi's are great. He likes all of them.
They were the Alessandros.
Okay, the D'Alessandro.
Yeah, they had 5 boys and 1 girl, Nancy, who became the Speaker of the House. And nobody speaks of her.
Apparently, amongst the Pelosi's, the D'Alessandros, there's only one that is sort of mutually detested on this street, and I'd say it's probably Nancy. I think it's probably safe to say that on YouTube, right?
I think I'm right saying this. She was the only one of the children who didn't go to St. Leo's school.
Really? Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Did you know her brothers at all?
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
Okay.
Especially the 2 youngest ones, Hector and Joe.
Hector and Joe?
Yeah.
Okay. What was that like hanging out with? Did you hang out
They
with
were
them?
normal guys, you know. They bet on horses. They went out to the nightclubs. They did everything we did. Except there was one person there that I don't think did.
Yeah.
And I ain't mentioned her again.
We don't need to mention her again.
Yeah, she was 2 years older than Charlie and I. I think she was, Charlie had a sister, Jackie. I think she was Nancy's age.
Okay, gotcha.
The ironic thing about this is
Yeah.
the house that they lived in right across the street here, Benny owns that now.
Yes, yes. He owns it. He turned it into a waffle joint.
Yeah, and I think there's a beauty salon in there too.
Yeah, slash a beauty salon, which is ironic because of Hairgate. You remember Hairgate?
Yeah.
Nancy Pelosi's Hairgate?
Yeah.
I was set up, she said. Do you have any funny memories of the Pelosi family or
the
D'Alessandros?
Well, I never forget Hector. He was the 3rd youngest.
Okay.
And he would come down to the field. He was older than us, but he'd like to get into football games. And we only played 2-hand touch.
Okay.
Because we didn't have equipment. So he was playing with us one night. And I think he intercepted the ball. And I got so damn mad when I touched him. I hit him kind of hard. He went off of the grass field onto the cobblestone street.
Yeah.
Next day he's on crutches. Every time he'd see me after they say, "Get him away from me." Yeah. They were, like I say, they were good guys. They were all they did everything we did. They played basketball for St. Leo's teams and
okay. Interesting.
And Joe was a character.
Yeah.
Gene can attest to this. We used to like to go to the Trotter, the races.
Okay.
And we were driving down Washington Parkway to go over to Rosecroft race track over near DC. And we're backed up on the Baltimore Washington Parkway. I look over and Joe Delzinger, he's in the car next to me. He says, "Roll the window down, Ron. Where are you going?" I said, "Over to Rosecroft." He says, "Here, come over here. I'll give you." He gave us free passes to get into the track. There's always something crazy going on around here, you know.
Right, absolutely.
We had the pool room up on Pratt and Exeter. It was called PDQ's,
Okay.
and one of the guy from the neighborhood ran it, and a lot of characters in there. And we were right next to a place called Snugs,
Okay.
and it was a lesbian bar.
What decade
We
was
even
this?
had that in Little Italy.
Wow, you guys were ahead
And
of the
they were
time.
all from out in the neighborhood. They
Yeah.
nobody.
You guys were ahead of the time. You
Yeah.
were progressive beyond your years back then. What decade was that? Would you say?
I'm sorry.
What decade was it that the lesbian bar was in?
That had to be like, I guess, again in the early '60s, late '50s.
Wow, back then
I think it's still there. It's called Club something now, but I think it's still there.
Interesting.
Like if you would go up Exeter and turn right on Pratt, it's right on the corner there.
Wow, still in
Yeah, I'm
business.
pretty sure it's called. I can't think of it. Club something.
Okay. So I remember during our last conversation, you brought up what was it? There was some guy that was causing trouble, and some other guys from the neighborhood ran him into the bay or something like that. Or
Oh, that was. I mentioned any names.
yeah,
Yeah, he was trying to break in cars. This guy.
that's right.
There's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And they ran them down to the harbor and said, "You either jump in or you get shot." And they all jumped in. From I wasn't there, but that's the story.
Yeah, yeah. And that story is kind of emblematic to me as to how Italians kind of take charge of their neighborhood and don't let criminals in.
Of course, it could never be because all the guys are gone now. But you did anything in this neighborhood that people didn't like, you paid.
Yes, absolutely.
You got it back.
Right. It's interesting to see these old traditions still carrying on, after decades. Yeah, we have Gia's Italian restaurant. Do you know the owners there?
Oh yeah, Gia's a good friend of mine.
Okay.
In fact, Jean used to be a model for her with her. She had hair salons.
Really?
Yeah, my wife Jean modeled.
Cool.
Yeah,
That's
her
awesome.
and her husband Albert, who's, I guess he passed away maybe 5 years ago.
Oh, okay.
We were close.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gia's from Sicily.
Okay.
From Cefalù.
Nice.
Her father was a character.
Oh, really? What was he like?
Oh, he was funny, Mr. Charlie.
Yeah.
And he talked the broken English. The guys, Giovanna used to have like a pajama party with the girls.
Okay.
Some of the guys would go around looking in the window. He'd run out, "I capture you, I kill you." You stay away, he would say. And Gia, the night we were in there, she was telling us the stories, remember?
That's right, yeah.
She tells them the stories.
Yeah.
She's funny, Gia.
Yes. Yeah.
When in grammar school, we had a nun, Sister Mary Laurentia, who was the superior nun. She coached us basketball, taught us how to play the drums.
Wow.
She did some of with teaching altar boys, because in those days everything was in Latin.
Okay.
You had to answer the priest in Latin, and as an altar boy, you had to learn all the Latin phrases, which went along with the mass.
Wow. So that was true traditional Catholic mass.
Like Dominus Vobiscum.
Yeah. Wait, what's that mean?
Ecum Spiritu. You know that Latin.
Yes.
And I don't know, because it's close to Italian, how you pronounce the vowels. And
yeah.
Well, I think I picked it up pretty quick, and most of the guys did.
Oh, I'm sure. Yes.
The only thing we always had trouble with, most of the guys, was the Confiteor, because it was so long.
Yeah. Yes.
Half of us used to fake it.
Right.
And that was the truth.
Yeah. Oh, I bet. Those are hard to memorize.
Growing up and being an altar boy and around nuns and priests all my life, never had anything happen like
Yeah.
They none of them ever off color, you know,
Yeah.
the way you hear about some of them. And some of them happened back then, but in different areas.
Benny used to have little Bennies, or Joe Bennies across the street. The focacceria. Did you ever eat there before?
No, that's
Okay.
where it was wasn't it more like a sub shop?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pizza,
Yes.
subs and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember that being a restaurant before at all?
No,
Okay.
I don't think it was. I think it was somebody's house that they just converted into a carryout.
Oh, gotcha.
And yeah, because most of the carryout we have, Chipperelli's used to have a great carryout, but
Hmm.
the employees, from what I heard, were stealing so much out the back door that they had to give it up. They were losing too much money.
Really?
Denitti's, who is no longer around, that was a nice restaurant too,
Okay.
and they did a great carryout business.
Gotcha. Okay, Denitti's, you said? And how long has Aldo's been around? I know I'm not going to get political again.
Aldo's hasn't been that long.
Okay.
It's funny. Aldo had a restaurant out in Harford County
Oh, really?
on Pleasantville, off of Pleasantville Road and 152.
Mm-hmm.
And we used to
Okay.
go in there at the time. We had lost our daughter,
Oh,
had
sorry.
passed away. She was only 5.5.
Oh, wow.
So Gene, we didn't feel like cooking, and it would be Gene and I and my son Craig, the oldest. He was just young then. We were in Aldo's out there almost, what, Gene, 2-3 times a week.
Wow, really? What was it?
And we got the.
Was it always like sort of upscale?
Well, it was it was a 7-Eleven that he took over
Okay.
and remodeled it.
Cool.
And we enjoyed it. He always had good food. He had good pizza.
Yeah.
He did well out there, I think. I'm sure he did. They were always had a nice crowd in there.
Right. Yeah, because I
Then
remember.
he bought this place and moved it back down here.
Okay.
Of course, I think he was originally just a baker, you know, cakes and stuff, desserts, and
Yeah.
but he was talented. He could cook.
Interesting.
Now the new place was
It was swanky. It was
well,
it was
the
upscale.
people that went there had the money to go a lot. We went once
Okay.
and never went back again.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like my grandfather used to make something, and then my cousin Gregory, who had Luigi Petty's years ago down on Eastern Avenue.
Yeah.
It's called Scarpella. It's a crepe. They make a crepe.
Okay.
And they stuff it with grated cheese and black pepper.
Ooh.
And put it in a chicken broth.
Wow.
And Gregory was the only one I ever remember of the Italian restaurants that made that.
Really? What was it called again?
Scarpella.
Scarpella. Oh. Interesting. What's that?
It's a Italian crepe. My grandfather used to make it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he would make his own. He'd make crepes in a frying pan, you know.
Yeah.
And then put the grated cheese on them and make the chicken broth. But it didn't have any chicken in it. It was just broth. Of course, you had to put a chicken in to make the broth.
Right, absolutely.
And then they put the grated cheese with black pepper on it and serve it in the soup.
Okay. Well, I can't talk about Little Italy and Italians without bringing up the mafia. La Nostra Cosa. Did you know any of those guys?
No.
No. Okay.
I heard who may have been, you know.
Okay. Sort of sleeper cell.
See, my mother had an uncle, and I met him, I guess it was in the 70s. He was in jail. Supposedly, he took a rap. He was with Frank, what was his name? Luciano.
Oh.
He was in his gang in New York.
Interesting.
And he took a rap that he didn't do.
Yeah.
Because that's what you did. This is the story I got from my mother.
Yeah.
It was her uncle.
Okay.
And his name, and I did see it in crime magazines.
Yeah.
His name was Tom Pinocchio. His last name was Pinocchio.
Okay.
It looked like Pinocchio but
Yeah.
it was pronounced Pinocchio. and his nickname was the Bull.
Oh, really?
You know how they all had nicknames.
Yes.
That's probably the only mafia guy I knew.
Right, right.
I remembered one story I'll tell real quick before you with the wine grapes.
Yes. Sylvester
Stallone's mother used to buy them from Benny's father.
Really?
So Charlie, he said one time he mentioned the fact that, and she had a nickname. I can't remember. They lived over near DC.
Okay.
And evidently she owed Benny for money for the grapes. She never paid him.
Okay.
Until Charlie died, we would always say, "You hear Stallone's making another movie?" Yeah, and his mother owes Benny money for them grapes years ago. That was a funny ongoing thing. We do it on purpose just to get Charlie to start hollering about her owing money.
Never let that down.
Yeah,
never let it down. But Stallone, he's one of the actors I still get behind. So he's a pretty good guy. Well, Joe, this has been awesome. This has been so much fun going over the past, your childhood growing up in Little Italy. Thanks so much for taking the time. My channel is mostly about leather goods, but it also goes into history, into heritage, and I can't in good conscience continue just talking about leather products. I also love to talk about culture and food, and I very much grew up with the Italian culture, and I love hearing about, especially living so close to Little Italy. I feel like, Joe has become basically family to me now, and it's really cool to get to hear from somebody directly who actually grew up here, and your childhood experiences and just life experiences growing up. So thanks so much for coming on to my channel.
You're welcome.
Yes, absolutely. It was a lot of fun, sir. Appreciate it.
All right.